So you have some questions? Let's see,
I,
what did I?
and I am really I'm in shock. There was so much of this that I didn't know. And, it, you don't learn this stuff in school. These
And
are not the things that you learn in school.
and
Uh,
I didn't mention them all because I forget. I have all these papers here, but I forget.
I am, yeah, I'm really blown away by everything that you.
I'm writing. I'm writing some. I'm writing
I want
something.
you to write a book. Yeah, I do. I want you to put together a book. So what worries me, I guess, in hearing your story and hearing all these things that have happened is, what do you sense is happening in America with this push towards socialism?
I, I see it. I see it. I see the movement, and it is scary. And people are so naive. They don't understand. You have to read about it. You have to be informed of what has happened in other countries, and the tentacles of the coming of Cuba are all over South America, and you can see it in Venezuela, and the tentacles are also in the United States, in Canada. They are all over the place. They have been indoctrinating people, and our children, I see it, have been indoctrinating. They want to remove, now when I hear them trying to remove everything about God from schools, and I said, what are they planning to do? What, you're trying to remove the Lord from the schools. What are you doing? Creating atheist schools?
And I was going to ask you about that. What happened to the churches in Cuba after Castro came into power?
Well, and that's another part I have to tell you. When the nuns were sent away, when sent to exile, many priests were sent to, and then so we had few priests there, and we used to go to the cathedral, which was a few blocks from our house, and we sang in the choir there, and we were marked because we believed in God. If you there is a song that they always sang. It's called the International, where when you sing that song, Arriba los pobres del mundo, meaning all the poor people raise up. And then they said, sin César, sin burgués, sin Dios, meaning that no Caesar, no God. The song is telling you, and they are playing that song over and over and over.
And that
So,
was the anthem? That
yeah,
was the national anthem of
yeah,
Cuba?
it's more like when they had any kind of government activity, they play that song. And it's so what you, in each classroom, they had a picture of Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, those were the figures anywhere you go. So if you went to church, you were marked. In order, they formed, okay, during the Peter Pan program, remember that I mentioned that they formed they formed the Pioneers program in Cuba in the schools, and the Pioneer program is for to indoctrinate. It's like a young youth communist to indoctrinate the children. So you belong when you were first. You are a pioneer, and that's part of the youth communist program. And then when you want to go up to the college, university level, then you become part of the Communist Party. that's one, that was a requirement.
That's interesting.
So you are part of that. The indoctrination begins
Mhm.
since you are a child,
Very young.
very young.
Mhm.
And that's why the Pan program was created, to get all those kids.
Who
But
started
many,
the Peter Pan program? I'm
you,
not real familiar with that.
oh, the Peter Pan program. Let me see. I have it somewhere. Peter. Okay, it begins in 19. That was in 1960.
Okay.
14,000 children of parents opposed to the system were sent uh, to USA to avoid their indoctrination. And it was done by a Catholic program,
Okay.
Catholic release program. We have visa to leave through that program. And the three of us, the three older sisters, we had visas to leave through the Peter Pan program. But in 1962, when they closed during the Cuban Missile Crisis, they closed that. They closed, and so the emigration from Cuba, Castro closed. You couldn't leave Cuba. That was halted. So 10,000 children that were leaving through the Peter Pan program, including the three Barnett sisters, uh, we couldn't leave. And you know what? My father said, in a way, I'm glad, because uh, I would be worried to death of you guys living by yourself. Uh, but later on, in 1968, when I was taken away, he said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have let you guys go." But no, he couldn't, because they closed the flights. Castro just closed the exits from Cuba in 19, that was 62.
Hmm.
So we couldn't leave. We were stuck in there.
What
It's it's not easy, but it, it's still, the sad thing is that it's still 61 years later, they're still there. And I wonder if I'm going to be able to see Cuba again. Now people ask me, have you been back? I said, no. How can I be back when I was persecuted? I was really sent to those. They did so much that I don't want to go back. Uh, my closest family is here. Uh, I don't have any close relatives there, so I'm glad that we were able to leave and achieve freedom. And I don't want to look back, and I don't want to go back. And I hope that with whatever I'm saying here now, I can help those that are so naive, thinking that they're going to get everything for free. There's nothing free. There's nothing free. And so